Honestly, I think probably one of the most popular questions that I get is how do you keep track of your YouTube process? How do you make sure everything gets done? And then in addition to that, how do you actually plan your videos and know that they're going to perform well? And how do you pick your keywords and all the things? So today I thought I would take you kind of behind the scenes and show you, one, how I plan my videos, and two, how I keep track with all of the steps that need to happen within each video, because they all happen in the same system and in the same process. And that way I can show you how my videos actually come to fruition and get done, because I do think that that's sometimes one of those questions that a lot of people have. Welcome back to another Friday edition of Behind the Curtains in Jessica's Business. If you were to be brand new here, my name is Jessica and I run a company called Hey Jessica, where I teach entrepreneurs all the things they need to know to run, start, and grow a successful business. So if that sounds like something you're into, make sure you hit subscribe now. Okay, so I have a lot of videos and a lot of content happening at any given moment. We have a podcast where I release one episode a week. We have this channel, which is 2 YouTube videos a week. Then I have my new farm lifestyle vlog channel, which I release 2 videos a week. And we are going to be starting to release more blog posts every week on the website. So there's a lot of content going on behind the scenes in my business. And the reason that is because that's what I am. I'm a content creator. I create content that teaches people how to do the things, and then I make money from ads and affiliates and all of that good jazz, right? So naturally, it's a lot to keep up with, honestly. And I have done this in different ways through the years, and I have done this in different ways to figure out what works best for me, what works best for the content, what works best for my team. And right now, and hopefully forever and ever, amen, because I love it so much, we use ClickUp to keep up with everything in the process. Now I'm gonna show you behind the scenes of my ClickUp here in just a second, but as you know, if you're not new here, I was a Trello lover for so many years. And Trello is definitely great. It allows you to track something and take it through a process. I have nothing bad to say about Trello in that arena, but I will say that ClickUp is like Trello on steroids, and it is just so much better and is easier for me to use with a team, specifically with knowing who is doing what, when, and what is the next step of the process. So I'm going to show you inside my ClickUp, but before I do that, I want to tell you that I actually created a mini ClickUp course. So it's basically everything you need to know about how to use ClickUp inside your business or inside your content creation strategy, and it's super cheap. So I created it because ClickUp has amazing tutorials, but sometimes you don't need everything and you don't know what you need until you need it. And so this is very much so taken from a business owner's perspective and how to use ClickUp in that way. And then I also created templates that you get for free when you buy the course. I created templates that you can pay more for and get even more templates, like how to track your YouTube videos and podcast content and ads and customer service and whatever else. So if you're interested in checking out my course about ClickUp, I will link it below, but I'll also pop the URL across the screen. You can go to heyjessica.com/ClickUp course, and that will take you there, but it is below in the description as well. Okay, before we go into ClickUp, I want to back way up to, all right, Jessica, you need to plan out your next 4, 5, 6, whatever videos and what that first step looks like. First and foremost, I need topics. I need to know what I'm talking about. So what I will do in that scenario is the first thing I do is I will go to my channel and I will see what is performing really well right now. So I dive into my analytics, I see what videos are doing the best right now, particularly of my newest ones I've released, which ones are outperforming others, and see if there's a different take on that video, a different angle, a different keyword I can target to make a similar video that I know will do well, but also will help you guys. Because YouTube's like a double-edged sword. I'm always trying to help more people and help new people, but then I'm also always trying to make sure that YouTube favors my videos in the algorithm as much as possible. So it's this fine dance. So what I will do is go into my videos and see, okay, what is doing well? What is doing great for my channel right now? And can I take that from another angle? So for instance, my video about how to get 1,000 subscribers fast on YouTube is doing really well. It's gaining a lot of views, it's gaining a lot of subscribers. Some of you may have even found me from that video. So I looked into it and I looked into some similar keywords and I created a video all about how to get 1,000 subscribers in 30 days. So not only can you get them fast, but now you can get them in 30 days. And I made sure that the content in that video was different and kind of stacked on the content in the other video. So I wasn't repeating myself too much for my subscribers, but I was also helping people who had just found me in that video. So I will go through and I will see in my analytics what is actually really performing well right now, what's doing well, that kind of thing. Then I will also do some keyword research based on some things I know I want to talk about. So, maybe I know I want to talk about how I plan my YouTube videos and I want to see what keywords do best for that. I will do some market research as far as what other people are doing that is working really well in my industry right now, because you can't ignore that. And the thing about YouTube is kind of we all grow together, which is really cool. And that happens in every niche. So if you see in your niche that someone who's targeting the same people you are did this video and it did really well for them, then you might want to do a similar video. Now, I am not saying to copy them. I am not saying to do an exact replica of their video. I'm not saying any of that. And hopefully you have enough original ideas to where that's not the case. But know that if it's someone in your niche and one of their videos is doing well, it might behoove you to do one very similarly. So I do some research on that. I will look at my homepage, look at my subscriptions, look at the people in my industry, kind of see what is doing well on YouTube right now. Then in addition to that, I go through all my questions and comments on my most recent videos, but also on Instagram and wherever people are sending me questions, and see if there are questions that I can answer that would be a great thing for me to do a YouTube video. So for instance, the next video that you guys will see on my channel is going to be a video all about niching down and how you need to pick a niche and stick with it to grow on YouTube. And the reason I'm creating that video is because one of you guys were like, oh my gosh, I know I need to niche down, but it's really hard and I don't know how to do it and I don't know what my best niche is and all of these things. And so I was like, you know what, I need to do a video on this because I think this is something a lot of people struggle with. So that will be one of the next videos on my channel. So all in all, the first step to getting YouTube content created is to do research and see what I actually want those videos to be about. Now, every single month I do an income report or an analytics report behind the scenes of my business, and I know that that has to happen at a certain point in the month because I need to wait for all the analytics to update from the month before. So I know that that's always a standing video in my calendar. But other than that, it's always something where I'm going out and seeing what's working right now, what my people are asking for, and planning in that way. So then I take it into ClickUp. And when I'm in ClickUp, I know that I'm publishing videos every Tuesday and every Friday. So when I'm on my blog and YouTube workflow space inside of ClickUp, I know that a new video has to go live every Tuesday, every Friday, every Tuesday, every Friday. Now, again, my June income report always goes live on a Friday because it's more of the behind the scenes behind my business, and that's that's just like what I'm doing right now. And I can't really film that until after the 2nd or 3rd of the month usually, to make sure that all my stats have updated from the month before. So all of my income, that kind of thing, has updated from the month before. So for this one, you know, I know that I'm gonna pop that in there, but then these 2 videos that I have in there are videos that I know I wanna do based on the research that I've done. Now, this is the one I'm actually filming right now, and you'll notice today is Wednesday, July 1st, and I'm just filming this a couple days ahead of time, which is not normal for me, but I got a little behind. It is what it is. What happens then is I go through here and I say, okay, well, I want to do a video about this, about this, about this, about this, and I will just click the plus sign and create a task. So I know that I want to do a video about the equipment that I use to film YouTube videos. So I'm gonna put that in there. And now the keywords may change, that kind of thing, but I'm gonna put it in there. So I actually block off time in my calendar every single week to do this, because I only plan about 2 weeks out right now to leave room for me to be able to change if I need to change, if something starts really taking off on my channel and I wanna kind of ride that wave. So what I will do is, let's say on a Wednesday, and it really kind of depends on the week, I will block off an hour, maybe 2, to plan out my next 4 videos. So, okay, I'm gonna plan out my next 4 videos. My June income report is pretty easy. I do the same thing every single month. This niche down one, awesome. Okay, the equipment that I use to film my videos, that's great. And then I will, you know, find another topic that you guys have been asking about that I can take a different angle on, something I've done in the past that I see that other creators in my niche are doing and are doing well for them. I'll put that in there. So I take a couple of hours and I plan out those next 4 to 6 videos, depending on how much time I have and kind of how good I feel about the topics. Then what I do is I will click on that card and I will bullet point out the things I want to talk about. So something that you should know, and I'm not sure I say enough on this channel for those of you who are just getting started on YouTube, I do not script my videos. And I actually think that that's a really bad practice because it will feel scripted to your audience. I personally can't stand listening to videos where I know the person is like reading from a teleprompter. I also can't stand listening to podcast episodes where I know the person is reading from a script. So for me, my strategy with my podcast and YouTube is to bullet point out the kind of high points that I want to talk about. So in this niching video, I want to talk about why niching is so powerful, why it's important to like your YouTube journey. I wrote some notes about that. I wrote some other things that I want to make sure I hit, like I know that niching down can be complicated. Here are some tips. And then I want to talk a little bit about when you can kind of stop niching down and you can niche out a little further. So that's the practice that I do. I will say, okay, I want to talk about niching. I just write that down as a card. I'll go through and bullet point it. Then I go to YouTube and do some keyword research. So this one, I have actually done the keyword research on this niche down topic already because I had planned it out before I started filming this video. But essentially what I'll do, okay, I know on the 14th that I'm gonna talk about the equipment that I use to film YouTube videos. So I will go to YouTube. I'll just go up here to the search bar and I will start typing the topic that I come to. Now, this is not an exact science. And what I like to do is, I know I want to film a video about the equipment that I use to film YouTube videos, but I have to get in the mind of my people and who they are and what they might possibly be searching or looking for when they find my video. So I'm just gonna start in the search bar by typing something that feels like something someone would search for. So YouTube equipment for beginners. Okay, awesome. Let's look and see what that looks like. So as of right now, there's a volume of about 880 searches per month for that key term. And that's not shabby. And I can totally see, myself filming a video with that key term as the target. So YouTube equipment, let's see what that one has. That's about 5,400 searches per month. Okay, YouTube filming setup, another key term that might do well for me. So what I will do is I will go through and I will see what key term I want to target based on how many searches per month there are and how popular I think that will be. Now, a new strategy for me specifically is to really make sure that I put my personality into the title. And what I mean by that is I used to make sure that the very beginning of the title was all search friendly and was exact keyword matches. Now, I still think that's a very important practice, particularly if you are just starting out. But as someone who is trying to, one of the big strategies for me recently has been trying to make sure that my subscribers are actually coming and watching my video, not just new people and not just people finding me from search. So I kind of do this fine balance of I want to show you what is behind the scenes of my business, but also show up in search for you. And the really cool part about YouTube is if your video is actually about that thing and you have good tags and titles, you'll still show up for a keyword, even if it isn't an exact match. And that's kind of where I've been going with it. Once I'm kind of here and I'm researching, I can scroll down through here and see what other creators are doing. Okay, so my YouTube filming setup, my YouTube filming and equipment setup, my YouTube filming setup, my YouTube filming and equipment setup. And you'll see here that people are seeing that certain keywords do well for certain videos, and they will go through and say, okay, well, I'm gonna use those keywords too. So what I want to do is I want to do a combination of what's going to be really search friendly for me and also really make sure that my video is going to be great for those of you who are already subscribed. So I'll continue to kind of like go through this, and I have a whole video about how I pick keywords to go after. So I'll make sure I link that below and I'll pop it above in a card too. But essentially I make sure that it has a good search volume per month and that that the people who've already done videos on this have had good results. So that might be the difference in using the key term my YouTube filming setup and my YouTube equipment setup or whatever. So I'm gonna drill down and kind of see what seems to be performing best and kind of pick the keywords in that way. A trick that a lot of people don't talk about is that you can actually incorporate multiple keywords in your title, in your tags, in everything you're doing. And that's what I try and do. I try and incorporate more than one keyword throughout a video. So for this video, I'm going to say one keyword I'm going to focus on is YouTube filming setup, and the other keyword, key phrase that I will likely focus on is something along the lines of like what camera is best for YouTube, what camera I film, what camera I use for YouTube videos, that kind of thing. So I have come up with a working title, and I may even tweak this and change it as I go and as I do more research, but that's what I will do. Then I will just take it through here and bullet point those topics I want to talk about and maybe different shots I want to get. So for instance, I film almost all of my videos right now on a Canon M50, but obviously I can't show you my Canon M50 or the mic that's on top if I'm filming with it. So, okay, I'm gonna need a B-roll shot of, with one of my other cameras of this camera. So I will write down kind of the bullet points that I verbally want to hit, but also some different shots I might need for that specific video. Then I will actually I have checklist templates built into ClickUp that will allow me to add a template here of a checklist with all of the things I need to do for a YouTube video. It will assign the right people to it. It can even use the due date for the card to assign due dates for the tasks, which is really cool and something Trello couldn't and can't do. But I will add that checklist. Now, you can actually add automations that like anytime you create a new card in this particular calendar or workflow or space or whatever we're calling it right now, that ClickUp will add these checklists. And I actually need to do that. I haven't done it yet on this one, but for the purposes of this, I'm going to show you what I do. So I will hit to do add checklist and use templates, and then I will just do YouTube process template and click use. Now what will happen here, it will put all of the checklist items we need to do and assign them to the right person. So I have planned and researched this. I can check that off. When I check it off, it'll go away. I need to film it. I need to dump the footage and the instructions for the editor if I'm not editing it, and then she edits, uploads, and creates the images for it. As far as images, that means that she creates like Pinterest images because we're working with a Pinterest manager. So she will just create those, give them to our Pinterest manager so she can pin them. And then optimize and schedule and create thumbnail are all things that I do right now. Now, eventually someone else may do that on my channel, but that's what it is. Now, I don't have this particular checklist set up to where the due dates are dependent on the card due date, but I think that's a really cool feature and plan to use that in the future and like get all that set up. But essentially what that means is if I set it up in that way, then ClickUp will know if this card is due July 14th, that I like to have my videos planned, filmed, and given to the editor 2 weeks ahead of time. And I want the editor to have it completely edited and uploaded a week ahead of time. And then I want to optimize it and schedule it and create the thumbnail 5 days ahead of time. And so it will know based on when the due date of the card is, what it should give a due date for each process along the way in the checklist. So that's how I keep up with like where we are in the process. And again, something I can set up an automation for. ClickUp automations are fairly new, so I haven't incorporated them into every piece of my ClickUp like world, but something you can also do is when you click off things in your checklist, your card can change status and vice versa. So for me, I know when I click up here that gray means it's just open. It's not really, there's nothing really done there. Blue means videos in queue. Now I have that differently because sometimes I will plan out some videos and I don't really have a date I want them to go live yet, but I know it's one I want to do, and I will plan them out outside of the calendar. So videos in queue is usually what I will set it to after I have planned it. Ready to be edited means I've filmed it, it's ready to be edited, and then finalized and scheduled means we're good. We don't have to look at this anymore. So when I'm looking at things in the calendar view, I can see, so like this one is the one I'm filming right now. So I could say, okay, it's ready to be edited. It's been filmed. This one is definitely in the queue. It's not one I'm just like randomly planning out. And this one is definitely in the queue. So when I look at this, it's color coded to this purple one was ready and done. This green one is ready to be edited and then it'll be done. These blue ones need to be filmed and then they'll turn green and then they'll be ready to edit it and then they'll be purple. So I kind of track it in that way. Now you can actually use the board view, which I think is a great way to do it as well, and say, okay, all these videos are in the queue. When it's ready to be edited, I move it over to that column. When it's ready to be uploaded, she'll move it to that column. When it's ready to be scheduled and whatever, we'll move it over. So you can look at this in several different ways in ClickUp, but personally for my content, because I know it's going live Tuesdays and Fridays, I like to look at it from a calendar view because it keeps it less confusing. So that's basically it. That's how I film, that's how I plan, come up with titles for, come up with bullet points for, and track my YouTube videos through the process so we know we're not missing one. And for me personally, I know that I'm planning out my videos a couple weeks in advance, so I know that I'm not going to miss one. And then I know exactly what day I'm gonna sit down and film those and that kind of thing. So again, I use ClickUp. You can really use any program you want to. You can use pen and paper if you want to. Like, you don't have to use ClickUp. You don't have to use any cool system. I think it makes it easier, particularly if you're working with an editor or a team member of any kind who's going to take some of the things off your plate. And I personally love ClickUp. Now, again, I have a mini ClickUp course. It's called A Course About ClickUp. So if you're wanting to know more about how to use it from a content creator and business owner perspective, definitely check that out. It'll be linked below, or you can go to heyjessica.com/ClickUp course. But I'd love to know what questions you have, or if there was anything in this video that I didn't totally clarify that you want more clarification on. Because as you see, I literally go to my comment section and my Instagram DMs to come up with topics that you guys actually want to see. So if you ever have an idea or something that's confusing you or whatever, leave it in the comments below. I'm happy to help. And don't forget to hit subscribe if you are not currently subscribed to my channel, because I have lots of rockstar content coming your way. And until next time, bye y'all.